sunshine, come out and bring some heat. Please, oh please. Okay, so I'm sitting here, and this is what I just did. Bringing it on up now. So, I would say I'm clean, but also though, my system is actually working. So it is, I can process. Now, I'm not dividing myself up. So I'm happy to report about how good I feel about taking care of myself and learning this. I know it looks like I don't do anything with my life, that I'm not trying, that I do not care. But this is some serious stuff that I'm in, and everything around is in. The time is now to change. And I'm not doing it to be in a fad or some kind of phase or anything. This is my real life. I happen to have something about something. And I cannot quit on myself. So not only am I having this problem, but all kind of people around are having a problem. And just so happens, I'm out here. And so much is what it is. This is not some joke. It's a lot of motherfucking problems out here. It's a lot of problems. What would be the better word than to say motherfucking when it come out my mouth immediately like that? People try to change the way someone is to say, see, that wasn't real. This is not who that person is. They're making a mockery out of the situation. They're doing this. Or, see, they'll be afraid and divide and to conquer and separate them from themselves and easily force up. These people get in. Who are they? But I'm doing something. I can go on and on and on about it. But I'm over here doing some stuff. I'm looking at different things on my paper. Exoneration is a huge problem for me. I had called before I even, over 10 years ago, trying to get some shit off my record. It was a tough time, and it was some success when there was one governor in the office. I was just talking to some people in his office, and you know what? There were people that were talking to me. I had got through a little bit, but then a lot of things changed. Some other people had came into office and got on a lot of bullshit, Wisconsin. But I had always known, like, oh, okay, pardon, these different things like that. But sometimes when people get a pardon, you have to look at that paperwork, because sometimes a person will have to look at the paperwork if they're going to speak on it, whether or not, whatever the situation is. If you know, you know. This is the problem. Somebody might not be able to fight anymore on that. You have to keep that shit real. If somebody exonerates you, it just is like, okay, that's what's up. But the problem is, do you understand what this means? And are you prepared to shut it down? Are you ready to go to the next level and say, it never happened? Because there's other ways that you can say, you know what? This person was good. This person was horrible. This person was bad. This person was super. This person was this person, that person. And I'm going to prove that. And I'm going to say I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And I'm going to say everything that I have to say. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. I'm going to say everything that I have to say. I'm going to prove that it is what it is. I'm going to continue living my life. And I'm going to keep on keeping on. But this is what I would have to say, because there's no reason why this person has to constantly go through the same thing over and over, or whatever the situation is, and then for generations these people can't even say. So why this person have to be famous? You know what I'm saying? So what about people that may have some kind of familiarity, like a relationship or some maybe a family member or somebody? They can't even go out and say, this person is who or whatever. So people like, fuck that. I got to do something about this. I can't even keep it real about my own life or my own name or my own situation. Motherfuckers sitting here and they all in my life. They you know what I'm saying, like watching me. Like, bro, like people are famous and people literally watch every goddamn thing they do, their children do, the grandchildren do. These motherfuckers sit up here and act like they raised. Why? Because they might have bought a motherfucking ticket. They might have did something. They might have motherfucking bought some albums or some shit. And they buy every goddamn album. They go to every concert. They push follow on the social media. They may stream. And now they feel like they own the motherfucker. And like they can just be in the lives of others constantly and have a right to have a whole motherfucking family and speak on it. And you know what? That's a whole other side. And people have to fucking handle that. People actually seriously have to handle that situation and still have to have their own life. How does a person get away from that when they say you're not good enough to live your own life? Everything you do is not real. Everything you do is a stage play. Everything that you do not own. So you figure it out, and then you might get some time for yourself, but you are property of someone who has paid the price, who have given you a scholarship, who have signed a contract, where you have been employed, where you have got some fucking food stamps from. You have some kind of membership. Be careful and understand the productivity and the awareness of every situation. People, you seem powerful. People seem powerful. They're impressionable. You're gonna hear them talking. They're gonna say how they have so much happening for themselves, and they fight and they put up a fuss and all these things. But then I have to wonder, do they actually know? Are they seeing another way to look at why? Because I understand. Motherfuckers say, no. I already explained this earlier in this video. Shit is coming up. I'll be so happy. I'm not sick. This is real. And people don't always show it because sometimes they be dry, stuck. They don't be loose. That's why people be so big. And I was over 300 pounds. So I'm not tripping. I had to. No medicine can do it for me. Nothing did it for me. I did it for me. I had to control my eating. I had to do the things I had to do. I had to start being more active in my life. I had to start sitting on that toilet more. Without medication. Because when I was taking medication, I was over 300 pounds. I appreciate every single step of the journey, but I can't credit it to anybody but myself. But these people sit up there and they say, but then others say, this is my job, I can't exonerate this person. But why, man? It's so messed up. You should be able to. This person is a national person who actually has literally paved the way that is impressionable as this. Why not exonerate that person? Do you sit and listen to everything that person said? Did that person even ever want to be exonerated? What is exoneration? So I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. I have a question mark. EXONERATION question mark. Because some people would like to revive. Because so much of the time is spent with all they have is what they had to give out of themselves, but became others' property. That's why I said I can't sell my soul. And how would I separate myself? Only way that I can say that is that because I know deep down inside of me that this is my stuff. Every lesson I learn may come from somewhere, but this attitude is all mine. I have to live my life. I'm out here learning how to motherfucking use time to work with time. I'm at a place where I didn't have to do this. My daddy paid for his house. It was all on cars, everything, money, all that shit. I was raised differently. These motherfuckers trying to screw drive me, put all kind of nuts and bolts in my shit, unscrew me. You know what I'm saying? Turn my axles and my dials. You know the motherfucker. Hold on, I'm about to do something right now. Hold on now, shit. This is what they trying to do. It's a little thing right there. Now, as here it is. I'm just gonna try. Man, now. Oh shit, that might be too long. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get good at this shit. Want to. Oh shit, wait a minute. Oh, a little bit ahead of myself right there. Hold on, this is on me right now. This is my shit. This is my stuff. Now I wanna, okay. And then, let me see how I'm gonna do this one here. I'm gonna have to put this one right here. Man. Oops. Man. I'm just doing something right now, and I'm just doing this for the sake of cause, I suppose. Okay, and so now I can constantly go in like this, okay? And my objective could possibly be this way, okay? And so as I continue here, I want to probably do this for myself, okay? Right? And I'm working my way this way. And so I'm saying, coming in this way here. This is why it's good to have sometimes
I don't know, perhaps a different color pen, but I don't know. It's fine because I'm gonna figure this through. That's why I'm making some arrows too, also as well, perhaps. And so I just said this is a perhaps a motion, and this is constant. So, and when I'm doing this, like I'm doing this way, but then someone comes and they come along, but they want to turn me this way. They won't want it to go about this way, like this now. Okay, so it could probably be um, other other. It's an adverse effect, and it's unwanted. It's forced, artificial. It's false because it's something happening with this artificial intelligence shit right now, but it's not mine. And I don't want to say artificial because artificial is not something that functions in my body, and so I'm not bringing that along with me. False is more of a more sustainable information, which can be fiction or something like that. Okay, just it's something that is it's opposite. Okay, and so as I'm trying to I gotta get this water right here. I've been trying to literally look and see what paper I can use to get up. I don't even know if it's up there. The whole darn. I want to ask you, wait a minute, y'all on the one in Kenosha? Where's all of them? McDonald's like this now. I just mind my business. But I could ask them, like, because why are you doing this? You know, and then it's like, it's you know, or whatever. I mean, this is how they doing things, but change it up. Let them know. So, I'm just gonna go up there and get another card. So I have to take this. But as I'm already one way. They're trying to turn me, unscrew me, and do something, and put something in place there. It's like they're trying to change me, and I already know what I'm doing. Now, am I a person who says that I cannot change? I'm not settling. I didn't say it's over for me. I didn't say that I wasn't going to get better and improve from where I was. But I said I don't have to be who they want me to be. I already know what I'm doing, but that does not mean that I'm not present in what is occurring right now. But that doesn't mean that that is the only place that I have to be. Because that shit is almost like I'm showing up for a job. But it's not. This is my fucking real life. What is indictment? I'm gonna fucking write that down. Because it's serious. And I'm gonna write on the same page here. Yeah. It's some kind of indictment out on my life that is causing me some kind of reason to have to be involved with somebody else's actions. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. That I find that is inappropriate to me. When I constantly look through my problems and I know that my way has already been made, that I ain't never had to get out here and do shit that I didn't want to do. And those battles have been fought, but a motherfucker came through and decided that they gonna make a book and pick up a book and turn my goddamn pages. Wait a minute. And decide that they wanna not only bookmark my shit, but they wanna motherfucking audit. For me to have people coming along and finding interest in my life as if this is a Shakespearean moment. Okay. And people are coming and trying to figure out what the problem is and put their opinion and twisting it and putting their power and their relationship and their energy and their careers and their jobs into my life and forcing me through trial as if I do not exist so that they can feel motherfucking comfort because they have found a motherfucking hobby, a book, a good read. These motherfuckers trying to put the pieces together and they stalking the shit out of me. And they so goddamn, it's so goddamn good where the names are popping up all over the place because it seems like they are patterning shit because they're so connected. These motherfuckers want to keep it going without me. These motherfuckers have found a mass connection that they had nothing to do with because if it was, your name will come up. But you ain't even giving yourself a chance to see what the fuck your story is all about. They didn't give themselves a chance to they're not. And so what's happening is what I have every sense to do in my life and what I have already overcome to do and to make whatever I wanted so that I can be, I already had the experience of collateral home ownership. Already have had parents, children. And one time, I'm not going to be dishonest at all. I'm not going to be dishonest at all about it. I had a mama, a daddy, a son, a daughter, and a husband.
and a house that was paid for. Cars, motherfucking shit, all kinds of shit, and a whole nother house up the street. And you know what else I had though? I had myself beautiful. So pretty. Could do whatever the fuck I wanted to. That is amazing. That was black. Wait a minute. Black. And I was not in jail. And I was not sick. I had did shit before. But I'm talking about there was this one time. For years. For a good goddamn good fucking 5 years. A motherfucking healthy 5 years. And I had to figure my way through. And you know what? It was some twists and some bumps, and motherfuckers was still on the attack. And I was so happy because that's the level that I was able to get up to where I didn't have to see none of that shit. See, motherfuckers want to talk about mental health and shit like that, but you want to try to bring somebody down to size and just leave them there in the fucking ruins. And so nobody can fill in the blanks. But I should have been able to get there accordingly, where people see fit. This is the age category. Now motherfuckers going to tell me that, oh, there's a specific level to discuss things, or this is why there's kindergarten, this is why there's 12th grade, this is why there's a motherfucking rated G and a rated X. This is how I can describe it. This is why there's a embryo, a fetus, and an infant. This is why people go through life and go way well past adolescence, and that means something. People have children, I had some consideration today, and I said, some of these children are overactive, and they may have what they would call a seizure because they're eating in a food desert. So they might have to go and get some motherfucking flaming hots. Motherfuckers call them hot flamings too. I'm not hating on flaming hots. I'm just using it, and perhaps I should say it different. I don't know. But the additives that they have are depositing in these impressionable brains, and they're growing rapidly already. But there's some kind of hormonal effect where they're trying to hold account of their self, and there is some kind of action there. And then they want to call it a chemical imbalance. Because what they have did was taken a gene from someone and tried to recreate it and made it synthetic, because they want to try to clone a situation to remove all of the negativity and hide their burdens and hide their malpractice and hide all this stuff. But they appreciate the beauty of the person, and they cannot do without it. They will feel so awful if they could not see that trace again, but they cannot leave the evidence. That's one reason. So they put it in this stuff and they create it, and it's not like they're madmen or anything like that, but it's so much, and you don't know. One bag of chips turns into sometimes 10 bags of chips because people are hungry. That's all they can eat. You do not know how much went into even one Cheeto. And don't you dare say that there can be, not even those children may not have anything
even what they rely on to fill their bellies without making sure they have something to fit in place that they can hold in a package. But what I'm saying is, you see how these people are developing. It was once before I heard some people say, it's that damn Similac. These babies around here, they just not growing the same. Good Start. It's a problem with fucking Good Start. I had to figure out what was good for my son. Fucking Good Start AR. Wick gave me the worst breast pump ever. Did not educate me. They said they did. They didn't. It was I had to go, and it was supposed to be a medical breast pump. But how much money would I say that they spent on buying them cans of motherfucking milk that they could have spent and buy a more industrialized breast pump for me to really get some milk for my child? Because apparently, though, the problem is they already knew that I was malnourished and lacked blood, so it wouldn't even motherfucking matter in the first place. But they didn't want it to be a joint effort to bring, that into the environment because they want to control the narrative. They want it to be about them. They want to say that this is property of them. This is their workings. However the situation is. A motherfucker sit up there and look at Frankenstein and wonder what the fuck is happening. Frankenstein is not dead. Screws all out here like a motherfucker. For what reason? And so I said that piece because it means something to me. This is a problem because I know that I'm high class. I know that I'm low class. I know that I'm middle class. And I know that I have it honest. But it's up to me to decide where I want to go with my roots. If I want to be on this side of the globe today, I know that I got somewhere to come home to. You know what I'm saying? If I do anything in my life, I know that I have an address that you motherfuckers cannot say that there is no possible way that I can be for myself because I have nothing. And that's why that whole address shit was out there. That's why all this stuff is out there. This is why the fucking intake, everything was a setup. And I never was supposed to notice. I never was supposed to recognize. But when a motherfucker argue with me and tell me that is not a healthy thing in intake, this is a goddamn problem. And when they don't have the script to what I'm saying and lock me away and try to punish me and change me for who I am, I have to speak on it. Here I am making sense of the situation where I am turning. And there's more shit. You know what I'm saying? This is just a little piece of it where I can show an example. And that's, there is fruits. I wonder, is it all fruit? Because they say it's a fruit if it has seeds. But there, a vegetable is what? And so I have to rely on myself. And so it's not like I'm not doing anything with my life. But I'm not always used to having it just motherfucking. I'm on my own. I've always been around people that always had somewhere that I could go to and have my own stuff. I ain't never had to worry about shit.
If I want to go to one bedroom, if I want to go another bedroom, any house, I don't give a fuck if it was my children's, you know. I always had a door that I could go to, and now I don't have that at all, except somewhere where I'm out here having to motherfucking risk them saying, get out, here go the police, or now I'm in trouble, and now they about to fucking try to take my mind from me and separate my life. And try to drive me out of my mind and try to kill me. All this that I put into myself, they're gonna try to make me forget about it. Because I want to tell the truth and speak for myself. What's the problem? What makes anybody so much better to speak for me? Why can't I say, this ain't nothing but unfair competition. The Federal Trade Commission has a problem with that. And that is illegal. Unfair competition is one thing is what's happening. And that is something that I can hurry up and throw out there. I ain't gonna lie about it. And it can stick like a motherfucker. But the thing is, not only would it stick, it's real. I am no longer afraid of what the cold can do to me. Because I made it through. I would much rather have my blow dryer and my blankets and stuff like that. And I have some, I did have a blanket, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, it's more to life than I'm experiencing. And so I fight. I have to fight. But for these people to even be trying to take my summer from me because they hate to see what's coming next. They about to try to take my summer from me. They hate to see what's fucking coming next from me in the summer. It is hard. I don't give a fuck. I'm out here. These are my clothes. It's not only my summer, but that's what I know that could come, and I can get some warmth in my body and not have to worry about to be so much in a place where they can attack me at any time. As they continue to try to close in, my life was already afforded. And now I'm trying to make sure I take care of myself. They put my daughter on food stamps without my permission. So her children could never say, my mama was never on food stamps for her own. You understand? They didn't ask me. Everybody around here know I've been raising my children. My children had grandparents. My children had other parents, but I've always been in the equation. And while every open door is not an open door, I continue to have to prove to myself. I called to a place I used to work at, and I went there, a home health care place. And I had a case in, it was 2018 to 2019. And I know that the person, I want to talk to that person because I was employed there. And I want to really get serious about the situation and shake everything off of me that I want to make sure that everything, as I want the paperwork, I want everything. And then I want to talk about some financials.
It's not the first time I tried to call there. And the person who answered the phone told me I had to pay $250 to talk to the person. I tried to explain, okay, I want to email the person who owns the business. Tell that person, because you are trying to probably schedule for something that I'm not trying to do. I never said that I did not ever want to pay the $250. I never said that they could not help me. I said I could wait until after April 15th. That is fine. I said, can you have him to send me an email? She said, sure. What's your email? So I tried to give her the email address. And then I said, is he going to be the one to reply to my email? And there was a pause in the phone somehow. And she said, somebody from here would. That's disrespectful, because I told you that I wanted to communicate with that person. This is the owner of the job. I did not work for you. I did not work for any of them. But it was much of the same issues where there was something that was a pattern that always came up against me. And it was just like, what is it that I'm doing that is causing you all to not allow me to loosen the holds that are on me, and so that I can just step up out of it and going about it. That's your job. If you want that shit, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna make sure I take all of my stuff. If you find that it's a crown of jewels, I just take mine right up out of there. I keep my stones. You keep your shit. My shit didn't even fit in there. I fell out a little bit. And why are you trying to pace me? Because there's going to be, my jewels are going to be bigger than that hole. I'm going to be on the outside of it. So there's going to be something hollow in the middle anyway. And when you pull that off because you chose to do that or whatever, you might see some things. So I'm here to make sure that I constantly smooth this surface. And you ever see somebody with gold teeth with a cloth and making sure they shit? You know what I'm saying? Hold on now. And then had the nerve to tell me, don't get gold teeth. I can't get no motherfucking gold teeth. It wasn't my daddy that said that. It wasn't my daddy that said that. Not even close. But what I'm saying is, just because a motherfucker is still trying to paint the picture for me. Motherfuckers, listen. I'm not in these people's lives. I call, try to handle my business, and I get a hard time every time. Black people, you know what I'm saying? This is a black business that I was talking about. I don't care, because it's no way since 2023. And one time I did talk to the person, and because the woman was giving me such a hard time, I told her that I had a different motherfucking name. Just to be able to get on the phone with this person. And I wanted to talk to him about some stuff for taxes. And I wanted to meet with him and discuss some stuff about when I worked there. I'm going to keep this shit real, because it got to a point where I had to call back, because she said, I'm sorry we couldn't help you. I was like, what the fuck is this all about? What do you mean? I didn't call for you all to help me. I know that this person, you work for this person, this is a person's business, and you have something that you can do, but how can you deny me? I didn't even get my paperwork or nothing when I worked there. I got whatever kind of check that they wanted to give me, and that's it. I didn't get any W-2 shit. I didn't get any of that. What are you talking about? I have to take care of my life, and I know better. But motherfuckers sit out here and see me out here going through this, so they treat me basic. One day I try to even knock on the door. The woman wouldn't even open the door for me. I do not need to carry around those type of things during business off hours. Didn't even ask me what I wanted or nothing. She would not let me in. Nothing. I said, what the fuck is this? They never trespassed me from there. They never told me that I could not come there. They never told me don't call, don't come. They didn't even finish the shit out like it was supposed to be. And I believe that, I don't know if this is the person that is a representation of that person. And then now a motherfucker say, see, you even trying to tear down black businesses, bitch, you gotta go. But what about me? When motherfuckers telling me that I can't work there because people are gonna like me better than them. This is all that I did. Brought my iPad to work. I was the one that could drive. That was the only thing. And I was making sure in the group chat, asking questions. That's it. I was serious about my shit. I was not there to fucking play. I was there making sure. And this is a problem. Now, when motherfuckers want to turn the wheel and tell me that I'm calling for a specific reason so that they can be involved, it's a problem. When you are sitting there and you are cheering for someone, you are not cheering for that person to become you. You are just happy to see that that person is doing something for themselves. That's how I don't give a fuck. So that's perhaps what it is. But no, these people are literally trying to not only coach me, but they are trying to run me. And so as I try to make sure that I am not like a puppet, I'm not Pinocchio, but there was a phase. I tried to watch the newer Pinocchio movie that went all out. He's all over the fucking place. And for some reason, it didn't work out for me many times. But I am sitting here in real time, I suppose I can call it, handling my stuff. That's why I made that call today. When motherfuckers sit there and make this, and they make shit, I don't know, this too, fuck it. And they make this, I don't know. And they have strings. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And when they have shit, this, and there is stuff all up in here, okay? This is so much. And when somebody is up there pulling this shit through here, and then it's a constant action, and a reaction, there's a cause and there's an effect. There is trial. Oh, and there is error. Okay? But then it's like Get that all off of me. I don't want this on me. This is out of here. Okay? So then I began to already know that shit was on me, but this is what they assume that they're gonna have on me as they try to pull these strings. And they find different attachments. And they say, oh, I was your best friend. Well, where the fuck were you all these goddamn times? Where the fuck you're not my sense of a best friend. I'm not asking them. I don't give a fuck, because if somebody's solid, they solid. But that was never solid. And then they tell people that, or I don't give a fuck. This is my story. When they say, here's a jacket of criminal probabilities, indictments, long suffering with adverse effects. Long suffering with adverse effects. Long suffering with adverse effects. Long suffering with adverse effects could seem like that's a pretty great thing. No. Long suffering with adverse effects. So there's also the long suffering and there's adverse effects, all that in the same person. But who will actually give a damn? Because none of that stuff matters, only to someone that is trying to put their input because of their structure of learning and their environment, and they want to make sure that I'm a part of that. And so many times I have been through this over and over and over and over again. And it causes a problem where I have to continue to stand up for myself and understand that I'm going to make it. But when they got guns and needles and pills, and they force me they put something in my veins and tell me that if you take it, you won't have to go into the hole, and still put me in the hole. That shit does something to a person to say, fuck, man, this is for real. I do what I can to be upstanding, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want that shit. They didn't even tell me what was in it. But I did not want to have to be in the hole without. They wouldn't even give me no clothes, no tissue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just had to be there and wait for a phone call whenever them motherfuckers sit there and walk over a motherfucking hole. And they don't clean it. They don't give a fuck. They don't talk. They don't care. And I had to get something pushed in my fucking veins, knowing that I do not want that shit in my body. And they still didn't even come and check it because they poisoned me. That was poisoning to tell me that I would not have to go there. Into a place also where I would not be able to have a tablet. I would have to be chained to a wall to use the phone on the short motherfucking handcuffs. Until they decided to even come back. It could be an hour just sitting there waiting. Oh, and there was and then I wouldn't be able to probably transfer money if I wanted to order commissary. It was up to them when they decide. Or you know what? I've been busy all day.
Oh, too bad. Tell the next people I can't control it. But you have more than those people that you are supposed to see at the SSA. Why do I have to ask these people to help me? And why do you want all these people to help me? Because this is your crime ring. And I have discovered your crime ring is not for me. And somehow, I was never supposed to go into those places. And now they're all looking at one another like, what the fuck? Because they all assumed that I would not see what was happening before me. And they tried to force me constantly into things and tell me that, oh, they're going to get me evaluated. You have been watching me all this motherfucking time, and you know goddamn well you're not going to put on the show and say, oh, we're going to get you evaluated. The judge is saying, now that other time when they said I was incompetent, the woman told me that the judge did it. But they keep putting me before the same judge for all my cases now. This time a judge brought it up, and then all of a sudden the district attorney said he's going to raise it. The district attorney is the one who says that they ain't calling the shots like that, but they have a high regard of recommendation to a commissioner and or a judge. Because I see that they said, well, they want $500 bond, cash bond, but the judge said, you know what? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and give you a $1,000 signature bond. So it could have been fucking worse. But what I'm telling you is they have a job where they are supposed to read these things well, because the judge is not always able to read the information unless it goes to trial. This is a part of litigation, and this is also a part of conflict resolution in the most serious and thorough way possible. But here I am saying, you're no help to me. Why do I need you to help me for things that I've been already doing myself, but now you want to take me to somewhere and shut me down so that you can build me? I used to say, like, I'll be the one to break my daughter down and build her up. I'll be the one to say, you keep running and I'm going to be here. I'll be the one to say, I don't give a fuck how hard you say that you don't want to do it. You can't do it. And I'm not going to accept any motherfucking less from you. If I talk to my child like that, that's fine. But why do I have to go and let these other motherfuckers out in the street, police officers, social workers, treat and do anything? And they got names like schizophrenic. What the fuck you mean? That's unlawful use of a goddamn whatever they using. What they put in them incompetency evaluations is also, what is that? Is that motherfucking obscenities? And this is what I'm saying. I'm doing something, but I'm not doing it to the condition of those people and their propositions. And so I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And so I continue to live my life and do the things that I am supposed to do, because I have to be here for me. Those people won't even do the shit that their job tells them to do when I'm there. But you know what? They want to help themselves too. All the shit that don't have nothing to do with their job. For me to justify myself to never have had any impairments when I have had any kind of whatever does not mean that you're going to keep doing it and see how much I can motherfucking take. That becomes rape. What is rape? Interesting question. For me, I don't want to be a rapist, and I'm going to be careful of what I say.
Because if a motherfucker sit there and they say, what goes around comes around. So I'm not just going to be out there throwing that name around because it could be more intelligent because a motherfucker fuck around. They said some shit this is like this. Since you had a relationship with that person, here's a problem. And that's why I was telling the motherfuckers out there, I'm not trying to, that's one reason. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to domesticate myself with you. And if it wasn't legal, that it shouldn't have been motherfucking said. If I cannot find it in the law books, it should never have been said at all. So I can say these things, but that does not mean that they can run my stuff. Everything that they do is supposed to be by the book when they're at work. I should know about that because they're doing it by every step that they take. I should already know what it is. And they should not be upset about that. But they should not be out here trying to take my every step. So now they are living their real life as whatever job that they have claimed to be, because for some reason they are not interested in entrepreneurialism because they get to do that's whatever they believe. But then they want to propose or suppose that my real life is actually my career and that my actual life is supposed to be incarceration, enslavement, and confinement. Because that's how it's supposed to be. Why motherfuckers out here talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion? You keep on letting these motherfuckers sit out here and putting this shit out there and who run and not actually checking the facts and seeing what they're talking about, where you're signing up right back for fucking slavery. And people are working hard. And so many times people have gotten out of slavery and went right back in there and said, I want to learn what they're learning. And all the time, so many people are trying to learn what you're learning. It may have not been the same good books that they have, but there was information that was there. A sense of relationship, domestic skills like cooking and cleaning, raising a family. Some people have business, some people have family. There is a relationship, and some people have business and family. But people are good at it and they're searching, but there should be some kind of relationship and some stability and some sustainability. Where is the traction? You're out here, police officers literally, shoes all ran the fuck down. And motherfuckers sitting over there throwing their motherfucking shoes on the goddamn fucking wires outside. A motherfucker sit up there and put my phone on the top of a car and did not tell me that my phone, that he left my phone on the top of my car. I drove off and like passed my phone. Oh, I left it on the top of your car. You didn't, and my shit got smashed. I said, you're going to have to give me them shoes. And I gave them to a young person. Because it mattered to me. Because if I allow you to use my phone, and you sit up there and you know exactly where it was and you didn't tell me, you must have been on some hated shit. And you the same motherfucker that I was fighting with and got expelled. You know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why I got expelled from motherfucking middle school, nigga. And you was supposed to be my motherfucking neighbor. This is a problem. And I'm not mad because I've talked to that person after, shit, laughed, motherfucker, and but this is what I'm saying. I'm just naming the situations about how important shoes are. Motherfuckers have gotten murdered over their shoes. You know why? Because it's a sense of class. It's a thing that if you have them, you got some kind of special skill. Okay, I'll say an example. It's a movie called Like Mike. The whatever it was inside of those shoes, right? But once those shoes were gone, it was just like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about credibility no more. I gotta get some skill. But a lot of people already had a skill and they just trying to prove it. And the only thing they're missing is the goddamn shoes. These officers out here toting around these motherfucking guns with some punk ass shit. They ain't running. They ain't doing shit. It's not in the budget. Ain't no motherfucking way you gonna sit here and be exercising and running and handling your business, and your department or your office is not gonna put it in the budget to make sure that you have endurance. The motherfuckers don't care. And I see this. They look tired when they first pull up, man. Everybody around here is constantly wasting away. For what? No, I'm not doing it. I do not want to do it. And so I'm constantly working on myself and making sure. I'm out here. But I do not have to have somebody else to fight for me. And when the motherfuckers tell me, listen, I keep saying, you wanna keep asking for the boss, right? So I'm gonna show you. We're gonna whoop your ass. Don't little sis me though, bitch. I'm gonna tell you right motherfucking now. But I'm gonna say one thing. I don't got no motherfucking class or age group. These motherfuckers steady fucking up the paperwork. They're steady being dishonest. I can't get my calls through. I call and I ask a question. Just who is qualified to take the call? Why do I have to sit up here and deal with any form of harassment? Shit. It's the same shit over and over. These motherfuckers are sitting here fighting, trying to claim my life. They don't want to let me loose. They don't want me to do nothing because they have counted me as dead. These motherfuckers trying to fight and say, what is the problem that I cannot handle a case to say, understand that you all say that it's a phone call, that I cannot talk to you about what really happened on a phone call. Where was the disorderly conduct? Where did that come in at? Because they sure didn't watch the body cams. They sure didn't get the video footage from the place out there, that truck stop out there, the rest stop out there in Pleasant Prairie, right near the Prime outlets. And they sure didn't get the phone calls. They falsified this whole motherfucking thing. And they forced a needle in my arm and still betrayed me. But they want me to get help from them because they don't want to be the ones to do it. They have these motherfuckers and they want to pull the strings. And they got I refuse, and they got so upset with me that they have to constantly do it before somebody else. I call and put somebody else involved. I have called to the Attorney General's office in Illinois. The motherfuckers were so disrespectful there. I've called to the Attorney General's office. They tell me that they can't even do anything about any other Wisconsin agency. So these are the things that are the problem. I have called to the governor's office. Why do I have to call all the places that I want to call for my own stuff and bring all these motherfuckers with me? That's not fair. And then the thing is, they have a problem. And I tried to talk to them and tell them, hey, don't bring every conversation. Every time I call, it's not about this. That's what this whole shit was about. Because you're going to have to realize that I have some stuff that is professional, and I have some stuff that is personal. I have some stuff that is private that I have to keep calling. And just because you recognize my name, you are not going to make it seem like I'm your celebrity. I am an individual, independent person calling to handle each of my You do not bunch all my stuff together. You do not have permission. These are not the same situations. These are different problems, and they don't like that. So why do I have to keep bringing these people to every agency that I attend to for myself? And so that's all I try to get through to these people. And they show up and they're like, oh, but you're still Jasmine Renee Davis. Oh, well, you're Jane Doe. Or I don't have to tell you anything anymore. Are you fucking having this much fun on this goddamn dispatcher line as you say? That you are not going to understand that when you show up to work, you are that paperwork. It said that he went and he learned English, and it's Midwest American English is what he was taught through the state patrol, but he don't know really shit about it since 2017 or something like that. But he's check this shit out. This motherfucker said that he's literally improvising, but had the nerve to tell them that he wants to get me for harassment for phone calls because of what I said out my mouth. He's totally abandoned his post. He abandoned his job. And he's constantly being dishonest, and his whole team is reflective of him. And he didn't even know who his team was. Didn't even know how many people he was supervising. And they have a problem that I sit there and expose their bullshit because they are sitting there vacationing on motherfucking Wisconsin time and gonna have the nerve to talk about what DOGE is doing to regulate this shit. You motherfuckers getting laid off so you can check yourself and come to your senses, so you punk ass motherfuckers don't have to feel the incompetency rap that you motherfuckers then put out here. And you hating on the motherfucker because he trying to let you know the importance of it. I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, but I know my dad was a rich man. I know my mama has always been well within her means. But I'm not speaking for my mother, because my mother can speak for herself. But what I'm saying is, a motherfucker may not have on paper $1 billion right here today, but I can tell you right now, I know the feeling to have wealth within me. And that's why I say I try to put my stuff in perspective accurately and genuinely and appropriately and professionally the best that I can on a personal level. And I already know there's some things I have been through. I have allowed myself to take it up a notch because I already know that I have to take care of myself and I can manage. But it's never going to take away the fact of the matter that I have to continue to care for myself. And I'm sitting at this bitch looking at Walgreens, knowing I might have to walk to that bitch and get me a fucking bag of chips. It had to be another way. See, I'm keeping this shit real because I need to be known as a real person. I sit out here and I show my bodily fluids. I pick them up. I show. Motherfuckers be so embarrassed. I was literally sitting there in the holding cell. A motherfucker steady trying to talk to me. Apparently, I don't know. But they say, hey, I said, motherfucker want my attention, they're gonna make sure I know that they talking to me. But it was a person who was about to have like a bowel movement, and somebody kept telling her like, oh, that's not normal, you know, you're just nervous, all this different stuff. And she's like, this other person was like, you know, oh, I'm not sure. I was sitting right there, and I said, I'm not worried. I said something like, I'm not worried about you having a problem. I said, I'm real. Shit. And I use my paper just like this. You see what I'm saying? I take care of myself. People literally cannot stand to even sit with themselves. People are ashamed to even have a bowel movement. There's some good things, and so they sit there, and I've held so much inside of me. I didn't want to be a snitch. That wasn't even the fucking world I was in. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trustworthy. And I let these motherfuckers get some headway, some leeway on me. And now that I still was saying some stuff along the way and keeping something for myself. Because it was some serious times when them motherfuckers was beating me up. They were holding motherfucking TANF programs, government programs against me and all kinds of shit. Want to know all kinds of stuff about me. I even went as far as getting a motherfucking at glance motherfucking like schedule, like a motherfucker, like a planner, like a scheduling book. Because I found that was really nice. It was very professional. And I don't know if I stole it or not. I don't know if I stole it or not. Wait, I may have not stolen it. I may have not stolen it because I don't know if I stole it or not. But the fact of the matter is, I know I stole one of them before. I stole one before. And I called that place. I called the office max. I said, I stole from you all before. And I want to tell you my name. And I want to tell you that I stole from you. And I want to figure out what it is that the problem or whatever. And the man said, we don't have anything with your name. And he just was like, he ain't tripping off of it or nothing like that. I talked to people. I made some horrible choices in my life that people don't understand, but I always know. One thing I'm going to write down here is intention. Because actually, intention is important to me. And I'm starting to feel hungry, shit. Oh, man. That was a whole nother situation. Even through those situations, I was still showing up to community meetings. I was still putting in input, telling people problems that could improve things. You know, I was still trying to campaign and do shit with voting and all kinds of things. Just really pressing forward in my life and really not worried about anything else other than who I am and the confidence in myself to know that I can make it and I could succeed. And at the time that I knew that I would prosper. I didn't know what that meant. And now I don't say that I'm a prosper now, but I'm going to tell you right now, I said it sometime before. That was a goal, but I don't have goals. I have plans. When I look at me saying that I have wanted to be an adult, and when a motherfucker talking about adult is a fully grown person, all these people are volunteering for someone to say that they are not growing anymore. And when someone no longer grows, that is a problem. And then they begin to objectify the irrationality or the irrationalness or being irrational and abuse and the poisoning and the dysfunctioning of whole communities, which could be something like genocide. And so I'm putting up the efforts for myself. I'm putting in the efforts for myself. I'm making sure that I take care of myself the best that I can because I actually care about myself. My concerns are not to do with how bad that I cannot make it. My concerns have to do with how much I know that I can and I am, and why is it that I got this so good. I can cook and I can cook. I mean, motherfuckers sit here. It's unfair competition. Motherfuckers sweating the shit out of these motherfuckers coming up with anything. I know they did. I know it is no way. Motherfuckers probably going to their fathers, their mothers, their Mary, Joseph, and Jesus's, everybody praying and complaining against me, having a hard time because they don't know what the fuck I'm doing. They want me to get a lane and stay in that bitch. Bitch, swerve. Because you ain't even in this whole motherfucking track. I used to have a thing, and I'm going to bring it to school because that's all where these motherfuckers need to be at. They do not need to be in my personal space. But I'm keeping it real. And so that's why I have the flexibility to talk about anything that I want to talk about. But what you have to realize is you're not me. And just because somebody may call me Jasmine and you wonder why you cannot call me Jasmine today, where I say, my name is Jasmine Renee Davis. Then people know that I want to be called Jasmine Renee Davis. But also, I already know that there is some structure. But you all are not going to pick and choose where you want to be at in my life. Track and field day. Motherfuckers be out there preparing sometimes, get everything. And it just be all kind of shit outside, playing, doing all kinds of things. And how the fuck they better be getting some bigger toilets up there at Wilson? Because how the fuck Hillcrest about to be at motherfucker? Them goddamn toilets was pretty goddamn little when I was up in that bitch. I don't know what the fuck they doing. I guess they want motherfuckers to drop down and get their ego on. Shit. I'm not looking for a crutch. But if I want a crutch, I should be able to, and I should have the very best of anything that is out there. And if you tell me I can't get it, move the fuck out my way. You're not the one. And for you to force yourself to say, oh, you don't know what you're doing, here, medicate yourself because you want to be where I am, instead of you going out and chasing what the fuck you know I'm telling you that I want, and you want to be the one in my life, but you sit there and you want me to never be myself. It's like, listen here. You do not care about me. That's how I know you're harmful to me. Because I know how to get to these places. I know what I need. I don't need a crutch. I'm not saying anything particular. I'm just using it because it's a word that's put out there. But for a stranger to be on some bullshit and talk about, well, you didn't accept help. A state trooper said, people have been helping you. I said, damn, they've been investigating me this whole time. They've been talking about me for a while because this shit was premeditated. Straight up, this shit was premeditated. And I'm going to make sure that I call to these places and talk to them and see what the problem is. It's a hard motherfucking time. Hell no. These people sit up here and put whatever they want to put in a situation to make it better for them. And all of the things that I do is not enough.
Because I don't have these labels on my name, because I've been kicked out of their stuff. Anything that I do for myself does not count. And I wonder why. But you working so that you can buy a house. Because I've already was ahead of that, right? You working so your children can say that their parents made a way for them, right? But I already was in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are at a different generation than me. And you are not about to force me to be with you and struggle and suffer with you. And I don't even know you. And then you want to try to sit here and steal my motherfucking. You want to make me have erectile dysfunction. You want to attack motherfuckers for generations and generations and generations to come. And you're going to say, how can I sit up here for hours and articulate out my mouth and understand everything that is happening and then give my own input and sound read and everything else, and you let these motherfuckers, any of y'all, say that I am incompetent? Y'all might see me because I am tough, but that's not all of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like a variety. Like, I have different things that I appreciate in my life. That's why I'm so like, this is amazing. And people don't even realize how I have it all put in here together. And it's actually me. This is actually who I am for real. And the thing is, I'm consistent, and I have been my whole life. Them people ain't let me play their instruments. None of that shit. Shit, only time I was in the band room probably if a motherfucker had a meeting for calc or some motherfucking student government or some shit like that up in there. I don't give a fuck. I've been through so much where people were cutting my hair and doing anything that they wanted, and people would come like they know me and tell me, stop giving them people a hard time. And it's just like, she just cut my hair, and that's not what I wanted. I showed her the picture. She said she can do it. This is not the picture. This person ain't got to curl their hair and shit to get it to look like that. And even when you curl it, it's still not looking like that. Motherfuckers like, oh, that look like an old woman hairstyle and shit. My hair was thick as it was. I have literally cut my hair off and grew my hair. And y'all people telling people that I'm sick and that I'm dying or something like that. And I'm showing y'all that I am continually growing. I'm putting in so much effort to make sure this stuff is something for me. How much do you believe that it would cost to hire a media person to be with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And a lot of people have to realize that they can't afford the things that I can do for myself, and they won't admit it, but they know. And some people just really haven't even looked at it. They didn't even realize that that's a thing. And when people level up and decide that they can do more than the average thing and really start growing and empower themselves, it's more enrichment. And that's one thing, that's the fight. And that is unfair competition. They false advertise and do all kinds of things, and I don't appreciate it.
I'm here, though. I'm doing something. Okay, I appreciate it. And you know what? It was said 10 o'clock, and so that's what I would have went
We're
on.
just gonna clean it real quick. We'll open it back up later, but we're just to clean it real quick.
Okay.
Around 8, we have to clean it. So, because usually the kids come in here and they start making a mess again while we're cleaning it. So we don't want that. So it'll be like 30 minutes to close or an hour to close, and then we'll just go.
Is your lavatory closed too?
Everything. Everything's closed. We gotta clean the bathrooms and all. So we don't want like I have to clean it, so I don't want people walking in the door.
Okay. What time are you closing it? Like in what? 10 minutes? I said like, are you closing in 10 minutes?
Like right now, like I'm gonna close it right now. Hey, let me close it. Yeah, it's closed. Yeah. It closes right now. And I
Okay.
An hour or probably under if I can clean it. It'll be faster. And once I'm done cleaning, I'll reopen it back up.
Oh, I'll be on my way. But that's all I was wondering. Okay, that's fine. Because actually, I was just assuming I was going to use your lavatory at some point, but don't worry about it.
We can use the bathroom right now, but if I'm going to do
No, you said you're going to close now, so don't worry about it. That's what I was just explaining to you. That's why I asked. Like, are you closing immediately right now?
yeah, it's very nice.
I understand. Because I never was trying to, be like intrusive on you or anything like that. So, okay. I just got to make sure I have my stuff. Okay. Here I go. I'm just putting my stuff in my bag here so I don't drop it out. Oh, see, this is what he's saying. Never get too comfortable in a situation because it's always time to change. And that's what I'm doing right now. Moving around here. There. I got some gloves, so I'm happy about that. I have my phone though, too. Shit. Okay. Jeez. Okay, I got my phone. Okay. I have to get up. Oh, please, I'm coming. Woo. Okay, I'm fine. Now it's getting ready to get up there. Easy. Going to give me some food. Okay, I appreciate it. One thing is too, motherfuckers want to change the maze. Motherfuckers that learn how to get around. You know the mazes they put out there? They put them on the milk cartons sometime. They want to change this shit around because people, they stay in the maze. They didn't learn the maze. It's the same fucking maze. And so what they doing is uprooting a lot of shit. Motherfucker can't hop out of McDonald's and go to Save-A-Lot and get some other food. Shit. Man, I'm hungry. I went to Walgreens to put some money on the card when I had got out from Ulster County Jail before. Because I had to make sure I had money for a lift. To give me something. I promise I'm having a time. And some places around here won't even accept food stamps. They won't even accept food stamps. And that's good. And then they have motherfuckers telling them how to run their business and what they have to have. And it tells somebody, it's time to start kind of using your own money. How can that happen? When motherfuckers introducing different things in different ways, I've been getting food stamps for down there 19 years. And didn't even really have to. But I was out here. Doing the things that I wanted to do for myself to make it better because I felt like I was so goddamn grown. And I wasn't somebody. I said, I was probably like 21 or something. So I'm 21 or something, and I don't have nothing going for my life. I'm getting in trouble. My daddy is working, doing whatever. I just had some things and I had some problems. And that person said, you're not far behind like you think you are. Another person said, you're a lot further around the curve than you believe you are. You know what I'm saying? I believe that you are what you say you are. Because I was saying some good things about myself too in another conversation. And I've had some real good conversations with people. But it was just this instance, I'm Jasmine Renee Davis, that I went through trying to figure out what works good, what was good for myself, and what is most appropriate for me. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And I just wanted to just be so grown. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I get to actually live my life forever and just keep being what I want to be. Because I always was that, but at some point I believe that I had to shift and change my life and be what others told me that I was supposed to be. Because why? What I have been now to them has never been good enough, and they always wanted to tell me I was not good enough so that I could put my efforts into their stuff. So everything that I'm doing for myself seems like it's not enough for other people, but I am so happy. I feel so good about myself. I'm actually growing. I'm so confident. But I have my problems, and it is what it is. I'm trying to find a laboratory now. I'm out here. For real. Oh my goodness. And it's not like I have to have just found my way through this department over here. Yeah. Okay, here it is right here. I just want to take care of myself. Okay. Sit down. It smells like some urine and or some kind of bodily fluid and cleaning supplies or something. I don't know. But I'm about to figure it out. I wonder why all this stuff's so low like that. Oh, please. So many things. Going on and I am pushing my way on through. I'm working my nerves. I am here. I know I'm here. No time is now. What is it when I don't argue someone else's case but my own? What then? What is a control thing? I know me. Man, it's other money out here. Shit, motherfuckers ain't only using that currency that everybody can see. Motherfuckers got electronic money. Motherfuckers don't want to cheapen this shit, you know? That's why they have coupons and club memberships and shit. People are out here. And motherfuckers steady want to be involved with everything. You're never going to be good enough for something that it's not, that somebody else built for them and never, they intentionally did not build for you. Okay? And that's how it is. These motherfuckers act like, for some reason, I was made for them. All the way down. Fucking me. I gotta get off this food stamp shit. Straight up. And I'm about to spend some of these food stamps at Walgreens. Now. Shit. So. I'll put my phone in my package. I know I always can. He's making extra hands right now. Okay. Definitely keeping my posture. Kind of. I'm sitting on this toilet. I gotta change a little bit when I was grabbing my phone. I have my own way of doing things. And this is why I'm so good at making food, being my own. So this is my personality. Motherfuckers to sit up there and watch people on cable and do they shit, and they see me and they tell me I'm not good enough because they want me to slow down and master my shit, and then I be like having to look to them. But what they don't know is I don't do it because I want to outshine somebody. I do it because I have a specific quality of living. If that ever is. And I want to be careful, but I like things. These things matter to me. And so, but you know what? I'm not in jail. But they got a hold all around me. They got state troopers. All these motherfuckers want a piece of me. Some they want. And if I ever had any chance with anything that did not involve the police, goddamn. I do not give a fuck about this shit. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm accurate in my approach. And why do y'all believe that you had to put me in a mental institution where there are places that I can go and just to give me somewhere to fucking stay, talking about it's somewhere safe for tonight. Actually, that night I could have still been where the fuck I was. How is that safe where these motherfuckers don't even want to give me the things that I'm supposed to have in here? I'm telling you that I want something for myself. You're forcing vaccinations in my body. You are now trying to corrupt my body. That's the price I had to pay. Punishing a pretrial detainee? It makes no sense. For real. I'm about to poop here. I'm about to really have a bowel movement right now. And I have already put some already. But I'm thinking there's still some corn up in there. Yeah. Girl. On Monday. Yesterday I had some corn. Fuck. I had some corn. It's the end of poop coming out my booty. I talk the way I talk because it matters to me. I say the things out of my mouth because I have some concerns. probably don't even, this is something. People probably don't believe they ever gonna retire. And when they retire, they ain't gonna have shit. People are struggling right now, having to do all kinds of stuff to make it. Don't retire. Don't fucking work. Live your life. Do something that you like to do for yourself and figure out how to make money. Build a fucking, get you some property. You work for a city. You work for a community. You might not have a job at all. Get some land. Just for now. You already working in a place. You already going to school. You already shot there. So you probably plan to be there for what? I don't even know. A year, 2 years, 10 years. Get some property. Build you a hut. A tiny house. And live. Figure your life out. One step at a time. And grow. And if you want to still be that, go to the public meetings for those places. Put your input in. Step by step. I don't know what to tell you, but I have to live my life. And I do not want to keep having to go to a mental hospital. I don't want to have to go. Why do I have to go through those things and be in jail all the time? What the fuck do you believe that I have missed? Because I'm not doing it on your time. This is my time. I actually have a life. And I can handle these things. Oh, but this is the problem. I got kicked off the bus. I get kicked out of grocery stores. I go through all my different stuff. Oh, get kicked out of libraries too. And when I sit here and I do my stuff, I am taking care of myself first. And when I start getting warmed up, these motherfuckers kick me the fuck out. So it's not about me doing stuff timely for some people. I'm not proving to someone that I can be a good anything, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm not going to interview for something that I'm not applying for. If that makes sense to anyone, it makes sense to me. I'm not trying to disqualify myself from anything or anyone. I don't have to worry about motherfuckers talking about I got bad blood or any of that shit. It's the fact of the matter of how people are trying to come into my life and control mine. You have to adjust and align. Your job that you worried about now is personal because it has been. All this women's suffrage and all these declarations of independence and all these things has its place. But at what point do you know that if there ever was a flag, I could create my own? And that's what this is all about. You all have never knew or you got the job to be in my face, to be in my business or whatever, but you never knew that you would come upon someone such as me. And you cannot be who you want to be in your position. And I don't ever want that to be you. So now you know that I do not like you. And so now you're going to force me to be in your life.
Excuse me, ma'am?
Yes, what's the problem?
We close in 2 minutes.
Oh, I did not know that. I'm literally having a bowel movement right now, so I'm going to hurry up, though. I did not know that. I didn't look at the time. I figured they closed at 10. Oh, shit. Well, let's not be hungry. I didn't know that. But I wonder if the inside is closed. I'm about to I thought they were going to say, hey, what are you doing in your bathroom? hurt violence in that. But oh please. Motherfuckers will keep pushing out. Bitch, why don't you say wealth around me? Let me wealth you. Let me wealth you. Let me wealth you. You want wealth. Can you wealth? Wealth. Rich. Money. Grow. Light. Learning. Power. Authority. Charge. Sense. I don't know. I have to do this some other time. Oh, I did not know they close at 9, but I had to do and stuff. It's just one of those things. I'm gonna touch the floor. They got this darn toilet paper so low down here. Okay. Oh, goodness. Oh, please. I'm trying to do this before I get stuff on this. Taking care of myself. Looking at what was on the wall. Look at the time. Well, soon this place closes at 10 o'clock. It's not 24 hours, so. I'm literally yearning. Yes.
We're closed.
Okay, I'm literally yearning out of my body right now.
I'm sorry, but we're closed.
Okay, and I'm coming. I'm not going to urinate on my body. What'd you say? I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. Oh, them bitches fighting me. I already know it. They got an agenda. That's why I don't fuck with these motherfuckers. There's an agenda. It don't matter. I'm literally talking about, oh my goodness, urine, some bodily fluid is literally coming out of my body right now, and I'm trying to get off the toilet. And this bitch, for what? She being abusive. They want me to cut the fuck up, but I'm not. I'm happy with myself, and I'm using the bathroom, and I'm about to leave up out of this motherfucker. Okay, I'm about to start another video and take a picture with this timestamp. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. Actually, 9:02 it is, though. Okay. I'm here. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis.